All right. Hi, guys. Thanks for being here tonight on Team Forever Strong's weekly team call. Today is June 9th. Cannot even believe it. We're through our first full week of June. So I would like to start off with some rank advancements. So if anybody has any emeralds that my voice is losing with the energize here. I'm slurring my speech. If anybody has any emeralds that they'd like to shout out, you can go ahead and unmute yourself.
I do. That's actually one of the reasons why I came on and left to get together, because I'm so excited for Christina Burrows, who became an emerald today. Super excited for her. She's definitely on fire. So
yay! Awesome. That's awesome. Congratulations. We like it when they're on fire. Anybody else have any recognition? Nope. Nothing at all. Emeralds, rubies, diamonds, star diamonds, none of that. It was a pretty quiet week this Thursday. All right. 49.
Kathy?
Yes, go ahead, Jane.
It's actually just a rank retention. So one of the coaches on our team lost her diamond a while back, and she's still working on getting it back, but she's up from emerald now to ruby. So Jess is a ruby again. So she's on her way.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
So hard.
You can do it. It happens to everyone. You'll get it back. One day at a time. 49 more days until Summit. Who's going to Summit? Is everybody on this call going? And guys, listen, even if you are a brand new coach, because I told a couple new coaches on the team that didn't know this, but even if you're a brand new coach on the team, still put your name on the wait list, because they are going to take off everybody. So you could still go. And trust me, when you're seeing everybody's pictures and you're seeing everything that's going on, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I should have been there. You're going to really wish that you had been there. So if it's possible and you're going to be around in July, it's in Nashville. So check it out. Put your name on the wait list just in case. You never know. You won't regret it. Alrighty, so we have a coach blitz on Sunday, and I am going to talk a little bit more about that as I go over our inviting tonight. But it's Sunday night from 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so you're going to want to make sure that you take advantage of that blitz for sure and add in as many people as possible. All right, so what we're going to do tonight is we are going to talk about inviting unapologetically. So we're going to talk about inviting unapologetically and how important it is in this business in order to grow your business. So there's lots of different ways, guys, to invite when it comes to this business. Specifically, you can invite to a challenge group, and you can invite to the coaching opportunity, and there's lots of different ways to do it. Different ways that you can post on your personal wall, and then through private messages back and forth to people that way. So really it depends. It's going to depend on two things here. Whether or not somebody decides to say yes and take that leap of faith and go is going to decide on two very important things. And these two things are critical. Number one is going to be, is it the right time for them? And can they sense and feel your confidence? Are you confident in that invite? Are you showing excitement and enthusiasm and energy in that invite? So if you happen to catch somebody on the right time and it's the right time for them, they are looking for a change, and you are spot on with that confidence, chances are you will get a yes out of someone. So we're going to go over a couple different topics tonight. We're going to be talking about why people don't invite, what holds them back. We're going to be talking about how to private message people with invites. And I'm going to give you some examples that I use and what's worked with me in the past and what has worked best for me to build this business. How to do a public invite. So an invite to a challenge group or to the coaching opportunity on your personal wall. We're going to be talking about those things, talking about the do's and the don'ts, and I'm going to be sharing some examples with you guys. And what this does, guys, over time for you, when you do all these things, is it's called attraction marketing. So eventually, over time, by being extremely consistent with your posting and your inviting through private messages, people will start to come to you. And that's the beautiful thing about this business when that finally happens. People will start to come to you, but it takes time, and it only happens by being extremely consistent with what I'm going to be going over with you tonight. Okay? So let's talk a little bit about what prevents people or keeps people from inviting, right? So how many of you, raise your hand, how many of you were like scared to invite when you first became a coach, or you feared inviting, right? Exactly. It's like pretty much everybody. It's such a common fear to have when you come on to the team as a coach, is you're really nervous. So you have a fear of failing, right? You have a fear of people thinking that you're just trying to sell them something. You have a fear of having them come back and say something mean to you. You have a fear that they're not going to respond back to you. So you have all these different fears of all these different things, which is absolutely 100% normal to have those things. And the thing is, though, guys, is when you're having all those fears, right, you're not in the right mindset when you are sitting down about ready to go do those invites, right? So if you're letting all that fear swarm your mind and cloud your brain, then chances are in the back of your mind, even as you're getting ready to do your invites, you're going to be thinking things like this. No one's going to want to join me. I just don't have any people to reach out to. Everybody's already with a Beachbody coach. Everybody already has the 21-day fix. Oh, she's too skinny. She doesn't need help with her health and fitness. All of those things will start to cloud your mind when you go to sit down, and then you're not going to see and have good success because your mind is not right with it. So you need to make sure, guys, that you have that confidence piece. And the only way, guys, that you're going to get over that fear of inviting is to simply take action. That's really what it boils down to. And what I want you to do is I want you to think about the person who invited you to become a coach, how you got into coaching, right? We were all invited by someone. So someone either invited us to a challenge group, or somebody invited us to, a webinar, or somebody invited us to a coach sneak peek. You were all invited by someone. And how thankful are you that they told you about this opportunity, right? Aren't you glad that they told you about this? So this is the exact same way that you need to think when you are out there inviting other people on this journey, to be a part of this journey. You can't be worried about offending people, because you really need to focus on the fact that you're doing them a favor, and that you're literally doing people a disservice by keeping this from them and not telling them about this opportunity. So the only way that you can really get over that fear, guys, is to simply take action, to just get out there and do it, and to force yourself to do it. The more you do it, the more confident you get, the more competent you become, and then it's just like a piece of cake. But it comes with practice, and it comes with time, and that will build up your confidence in this area. So a lot of times when you're reaching out and you're talking to people, if you don't have, your own success story, guys, feel free to use another coaches. Feel free to use your upline coaches. Always ask for permission, obviously. But we also have that folder in the gallery in our team page too, where we have all different kinds of examples of, before and after pictures, good posts that you can do about coaching, good adding value posts. So you can always go there and check and use that. And whatever you use, guys, just make sure that you're using your own words and you're personalizing everything as much as possible. Okay? But you guys have something really incredible to offer people. You really do have to remember that you have something great to offer people. You really do have this gift to give people, and you need to be out there telling people about it every single day. It's so important. You're going to get a lot of no's, and it just comes with the territory. But I wanted to give this example, and for those of you who are on the Brad Bizjack call, when he did the call for our team, he gave a really great example, and I use it and think about it all the time, about people not wanting to be a part of this right at the time when you go to reach out to them and invite them, right? People usually either say no, not right now, or they ignore you. That's just what happens with this business, right? But he gave this great example that imagine that you were a waiter at a coffee shop. and you're walking around asking everybody if they wanted a cup of coffee, right? And say you love coffee, but you were just so full from your meal, you didn't want any at that moment. So you just said, no, thanks, right? The waiter serving the coffee, he doesn't take it personally. He doesn't get offended. He doesn't say, screw it. No one else in the restaurant now is having a cup of coffee because you don't want it right now, right? He keeps going around and he asks other people for coffee, and he comes back to you. And maybe an hour and a half later, after sitting there chatting with your friend, you're ready for your cup of coffee. Maybe you're not. Maybe the next day when you come in, you're ready for your cup of coffee then. So that's the way that you need to think about this business opportunity is you're not going to take it personally when people don't write back to you or say no, because this is all on their timing and when they want it. So you got to remember that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about private messaging about the coaching opportunity. So this is going to be about sitting on these kids' pajamas here. Such a mess over here. This is going to be talking about specifically the coaching opportunity. And I'm going to show you some examples too on the screen. I'm going to screen share. So I like to think back to when I first became a coach. So when I first became a coach, guys, I was really excited about this. I hadn't sold a darn thing, but I was like super pumped up about this and excited all the time. And when I first became a coach, I made a list of all these people that I was going to reach out to. I went on Facebook, I looked at all my friends, I got in contact with my really good friend from college, Daryl, and I was like, Daryl, I'm like, we're gonna become Beachbody coaches. You're doing it with me. We're going to the top with this thing. And she's like, what is this? And I'm like, I don't know, but it's going to change our lives. It's going to be awesome. And let's just meet up at the sushi restaurant at Millbury Mall. We'll talk about it together, but we're doing this, we're doing it together, and we're going to the top with this, and it's going to be awesome. And it's changing all these other lives in my team, and it's going to be us. It's going to be us. And I talked like that excited about it, right? The poor girl had no choice but to meet me at the sushi restaurant. So when she met me there, right, I shared this excitement with her. I shared my passion for this and my confidence, and she signed up. And guess what? She was one of the first people that got me to Diamond, that helped me become a Diamond coach. So the best way, guys, to invite people about when you're talking just about anything in general, specifically coaching, is to show your excitement like that, is to be really excited, have that confidence. And when they do eventually decide to sign up and go with you, because I am convinced, guys, everybody is going to have a Beachbody coach and be involved in this in some way or another at some point. So you want it to be you that these people go with, not your neighbor, because you didn't, have the courage to talk to them about it. You want them to be with you. And they all wish that they had started sooner. I can't tell you how many people, guys, I have on this team and just challengers in general that I reached out to for over a year with no response. And then they came around from seeing some post that I made and they hopped in and they were so glad they did. And they were like, I can't believe I waited so long to do this. This was ridiculous. Okay. They all come around. So be enthusiastic. Once you private message people, guys, about the coaching opportunity, they are watching you. They're literally watching you, and they are then going to go to your personal wall and they're going to stalk you. And they're going to see if you are legit, or are you that salesy it works person? You know what I mean? We don't run this that way. Like, that's the one thing that I love about Beachbody and our team in particular, is that nothing that we do is salesy. Nothing that we do is, flashing money, get rich quick, or, diet pills and wraps. It's all real stuff with us just being authentic, sharing our journey, inspiring others every single day. So they're going to go to your wall and they're going to look and they're going to say, all right, this girl's talking the talk. Is she also walking the walk? And they're going to look at the content that you're sharing to see if you are someone that is truly adding value to people every single day. So they're going to totally stalk you. What I have found has worked the best when it comes in terms to specifically inviting now people to the coaching opportunity, and I'm going to show you some examples in a second here. I've tried tons of different ways, guys, in the past 2 years. And the way that I have found to be the most successful and the best response rate and success rate of people actually trying this is to keep it simple, to keep it short, to not overthink it, to not overcomplicate it. And when I literally come out to someone and just say like, hey, how's it going? You know, I've been watching your posts on social media. I love how happy and upbeat you are. You'd make an awesome coach on this team. Have you ever considered hearing about what I do and seeing if it might be for you or not? That is literally what I say. And people love hearing compliments, guys. Like imagine somebody messaged you and said the same kind of thing, right? Gave you a compliment. People love that and feed off of that. And they're not going to respond back to you in a negative way and be mean to you. That has never happened to me. And I've talked to thousands and thousands of people and no one has ever been rude about it. They might say like, oh, that's so nice of you. You know, not right now. I've thought about it, maybe later. But they always get back to you most of the time. And if not, who cares? It's planting seeds. They're going to be watching you. So I'm going to show you a couple examples on my screen of how I invite to the coaching opportunity. So just let me share the screen for 1 second here. Try to find this. Okay, down over here. The coaching invite. Okay. All right, can you guys see that? So this is pretty much what I write. Hey, Julie, I saw you liked my post about how coaching has drastically changed things for our family. Thank you for that. Were you interested in learning more about it? I'd be happy to share more details with you if so. I've done things like that, okay? And you get a really good response back, guys. You will actually be so surprised with how many people get back to you and actually want to hear more. Can I like go to the right here? Nope, I can't. Never mind. Next, this one. All right, here's another one. Hey, Lindsay, I've been thinking about this recently, but I really think you'd make an awesome coach on our team. Have you ever considered hearing more about it and seeing what it's all about? So just simply telling them, guys, I cannot tell you how many people write back to me and say, oh my gosh, yeah, I love your post. You're so upbeat. I love reading them. Tell me more about it. You know, I'm curious. Like you get such positive feedback just by giving them a compliment like that. Very, very simple. You don't have to go into any kind of detail. Let's get another one here. This one was from back in the day, back in Christmas. Hey, I hope you had a great Christmas. I was just checking out your wall, and you know, I think you'd make an awesome coach on our team. Would you ever consider hearing more about it? It's just asking them, like you're not offending anybody. You're not breaking somebody's arm. Like you're just asking them if they want to hear more about it after you've given them a compliment about why you think they'd be good at it. And the last one here that I will share. Hey, Alicia, I hope you had a great weekend. Thanks for liking my post about coaching in a leadership retreat I went to this past weekend. It was amazing. Were you interested in hearing more about coaching and possibly becoming a part of the team? It's been such a blessing and it's so fun and rewarding. So I cycle through like all these kinds of things, like those types of messages, like over and over again, just depending on who I'm talking to, what I've seen them post. You know, honestly, like even if if they just look like super happy, you know, you can just tell like you want people who are upbeat and happy and, you know, going to be enthusiastic. Those are the type of people that you want on your team. I'll just send them a simple message like that. And such great feedback, guys. Okay. All right here. So now I'm going to talk about private message. So don't overthink, guys, with the coaching opportunity. I'm telling you, it is legitimately that simple. That's literally all I do with my time every day is I send messages like that to tons of people, not just 3. I send it to like 30, 40 people every single day. I do as many as I can. You know, before I go to bed, I think, can I maybe get in a couple more here? Like who else can I just connect with here? Just make sure that I'm trying to share this with as many people as possible. Because I truly believe that if people get into this and they take it seriously, it will change their life. I know it will change their life. So I want as many people to be a part of this as possible. So private messaging, to join now a challenge group. So to be a part of our support and accountability groups that we offer. So right off the bat, like I said before, guys, you are going to hear no a lot. So just sometimes people are surprised, you know, when they hear no's, but that's the norm. You know, I get no's, everybody gets no's. It's just the nature of the business. You're going to get a lot of no's and you're going to get a lot of people that aren't going to respond back to you, but it's okay, guys. because no just means no, not right now. They're not ready. And the most important part is that you have now planted the seed. That's what that means. So I don't care at all if people don't respond back to me or say no, because I know that with every message that I send to somebody, with every invite I send, even if I saw that they've seen it and they haven't written back, or they said no, not right now, I know just from experience now that they are reading everything I post, that they're watching everything I'm doing, they're watching for my success, and I am just waiting for them to see the right post at the right time that will get them to join, because that's what happens. Everybody decides to join when the time is right for them. Trust me, it's how it works. So be prepared for the no's, be prepared to not get a lot of responses back to people, but just know that you guys are planting seeds for people. And again, I just go back to that coffee example. Imagine the waiter, right? When you're sitting down every single day and you're doing your inviting, right? You're not going to get angry or get mad or get resentful at these people for saying no or not responding to you. It doesn't matter. You're going to get excited because those are more seeds that you've planted. That's all that means. Okay. Also, a great tip too for when it comes to inviting to the challenge group is to message people who like your posts. So that is a really good way to get people into a challenge group and to help them with their health and fitness. I can't tell you how many times I've been able to hit Success Club just by messaging the people who have liked like my before and after pictures, like even the one that I did last night. Sometimes people are really nervous to comment below. They're embarrassed to say that they need help, and but they'll give it a like. And I found that if you just simply just send them a really quick message, like everybody who liked my post the other night, I just reached out to them and I just said like, hey, thanks so much for showing my before and after picture some support. I really appreciate it. I'm trying so hard to get back on track. Fell off a little bit from the winter, but I'm back on track now. And I'm really excited to go through the summer with my group. Were you looking to get more information to be a part of it with us? And that's literally all I say. And they're like, yeah, tell me more about it. Or they just don't write back, but it doesn't matter. They're seeing what I posted and they're watching and they're watching and they're waiting for something to click for when it's the right time for them. So always go to those posts that you made about coaching. I always do this. I go back to all my posts that I made about the coaching opportunity when I made an invite to like a coaching blitz, a coaching sneak peek, wanting, just some way that coaching has changed my life, any kind of challenge group or transformation photo. And I make a list of all those people at the end of the day who liked those posts. And I just cross off all the Beachbody coaches and I cross off anybody that I have mutual friends with in common who might be a Beachbody coach. So I'm left with just this one, bulk of names that I make sure to reach out and message, because you're missing a lot of people if you're not taking advantage of the people who are actually liking your posts. So now I'm going to go and I'm just going to show you a couple examples of my challenge group invites that I do through private messages. And guys, the good thing too about all of this is that, these scripts and things like that, these scripts, I like to say in quotes, these are just like kind of conversation starters, right? Like this isn't like the Holy Bible. It has to be followed exactly this way if you want to get people signed up. It's meant to just basically be a conversation starter. And then you are then supposed to take the conversation and be yourself. Do what works for you. Be your own person. Be a friend to the person that you're talking to. Be genuinely interested. Be patient. Find out what their goals are. Be willing to ask a lot of questions and do a lot of listening. That's your job as a coach. So, like I said, good conversation starters that you can use, tweak them to make them your own. But then going forward, pretend like you're having normal everyday conversations face to face, in the living room with this person. What would you say? How would you respond? That's what I do when I sit down and carry the conversation further. So here's one example of a challenge group invite. So I always like to kind of do like a personal connection with them at the beginning. So, hi, Brooke, you and your family looked like you had a lot of fun on your vacation. How old are your kids? They're so cute. I have 2 little ones myself. Landon's almost 4 and Kirsten's 2. I'm not sure if you're looking for help at all reaching any health and fitness goals, but if you are, I have a really fun 21-day challenge group that's kicking off on April 25th. Would you like to hear more about it? I still have space for 2 more people. So again, it's an explicit invite. You can't just say, when you can't say to people like, let me know if you want to join, they're never going to get back to you. They just will not, trust me. You have to say that there's a deadline, that it's like starting at a certain time, or the deadline to place your order so your things comes in on time is on this date, or by saying that there's limited spots, people want to get in on it. And people just need sometimes that little extra belief in them to get over that hump that they have, that fear of starting something new. And then, guys, like I know that when they get into this, they are going to become hooked on Shakeology and the 21-day fix, and they are going to love it. Like I know that. Like I literally haven't met anybody who does not love it and that hasn't seen awesome results. So I know that when they go ahead and join us, they're going to be feeling just as awesome as we do. All right, so there's one example, and then I have another one here. Where is it? Oh, this one right here. Okay, so this was someone who liked my post. So, hey, Jennifer, I saw you liked my post about looking to lose 10 to 15 pounds and getting support from my private accountability group starting up in a week. Were you interested in hearing more about it? So I'm just asking them, like, are you interested in hearing more about it? No, I'm not breaking their arm. I'm not asking for anything crazy here. I'm just asking them if they want to hear more information about it. And so I cycle through like those same kinds of invites. That's all I do. At the beginning, when I first became a coach, it was a little bit more wordy because it's a learning process, right? And I found, over time, what works best for me, and what works best for me may not work best for you. So you try it out, you see what works and what gives you the best response rate and success rate. And then once you find something that works, guys, you stick with it. Like you don't go off in a different direction and think you need to try something new. Do what works and don't reinvent the wheel. All right, so now we're going to move into talking about, so that's the biggest piece, guys, to building this business is those private invites. It's the private messages, okay? That is what is going to build your business. It's not going to be the awesome post on Facebook that you're making, okay? I know that I have friends that aren't Beachbody coaches and they have awesome posts on Facebook. They add value, they're into fitness, they're motivating, but they're not coaches and they don't want to be coaches. So you don't want to be that person that's all you do. The biggest piece goes on behind closed doors. The successful coaches are doing the things that you're not seeing, which is in the inbox, spending all their day and time in their inbox, private messaging and connecting and getting to know people and getting to know what their goals are. That's it. It's seriously that simple. And so how much time you spend on that and how many people you talk to will determine how fast you're going to grow as a coach and how successful your business and how big it will be. It will depend on that. But another piece of also being a successful coach is to make sure that you are sharing your journey and that you are making those public invites also on your page. So sometimes like I said, I've had people in the past, they get upset when they make their post on social media to join their challenge group and they don't get any likes or they hear crickets and they get upset about it. And that's okay. It's totally normal that that's going to happen. And just know that, like I said, the bigger piece goes on in your inbox. So just remember that. Think about when you sit down to do your work, where you're spending your time. And that's where it should be. That's where I spend all my time. It's in my email or in my inbox for Facebook or Instagram with my direct messages. It's all behind the scenes stuff. So when you go to make your public invite about a challenge group, here are a couple tips for things that you should do. Make it so that you are doing it with them. Like, let's do this together. We're going to do this together. I'm going to be doing this right alongside with you, so that they know that you're going to be a part of it with them, that you're on the same level and you're doing it together versus, you're the know-it-all, you're this professional. We're not professionals, guys. Who here thought they were a professional? Anybody? We're not professionals. We're not the, personal trainers. We're not the nutritionists. We are just the motivators. We are people's support systems, and we are average people just looking to get better, and we want to help others do the same by sharing how these products and programs have helped us and changed our lives, and that's it. So share from the heart. Stay away from copying and pasting other people's posts. Use them for inspiration, but always make them their own. I always have found that if you sit down and you make your post, right from your heart, whatever you're feeling, and you share that out there, that's what does the best. That's what gets the most traction. So like even myself, sometimes I'm sitting down, like the other night, I was like trying to write my post, and I'm like, Nick, read it. Like, what do you think about this before I post it? And he's like, no, I'm not going to read it, because if I read it and I tell you to make changes, then it's not going to be you. And it's so true. It needs to be you. And people can tell when you are not being you and you're trying to be someone else. In your public invite to a challenge group, for example, make sure that you talk a lot about how you felt before starting this. So use a lot of feeling words about how you felt before versus how you felt now. And make an emphasis on the fact that you want to help other people now going forward. That you want to do this with them. You want to help other people get started on their health and fitness journey, and that you're excited about this. Post it with a transformation picture, because nothing speaks louder, guys, than a transformation picture. Like, they don't want to see Autumn Calabrese on, with the containers, because if it's good for her, she's the personal trainer, the celebrity trainer. Of course, she's in great shape. They want to see a real person. They want to see you, and they want to see how it's working, so that they can get validation that, hey, I can do this too. Like, it worked for her, it's going to work for me. And this is where it comes into play, where if you don't have a before and after picture, that's totally fine. Like I said, go to the team page, use some of the before and after pictures of the teammates, ask your upline coach. I've had to do that plenty of times before. Like when I was trying to promote the 22-minute hardcore program before I started, I asked my upline coach if I could use hers, and I used hers, and it worked great. I did all my own wording. I talked about how I was going to use that program to get certain results, but I used her picture because I didn't have that yet. Another good idea too is to use some of your challengers' pictures, but ask them, obviously. But this would be a great way for you to tie in the whole challenge group piece and what you love about it. So nothing would be more awesome than actually taking a challenger from your group and giving them that public encouragement and support, and sharing what it's done for a challenger that you're helping, right? So you could do that. And always, this is the piece that tends to be forgotten. This is the most important piece. You might want to highlight over this next line, a call to action at the very end. So this is absolutely critical. You can have the world's best post with the most incredible transformation photo, and you'll get a bunch of likes, and you'll get a bunch of people saying like, you look awesome, blah, 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 and a bunch of encouragement. But it would be very rare for you to get someone that says, I want to do it. You have to give people a call to action. So by coming out and just telling them, like, I can't wait to do this with you guys. I'm looking for 5 more people who want to get healthy and fit and feel more confident by the summer. Shoot me a message, like this post, comment below, however you want to get in touch with me, and I'll be happy to reach out with you and connect with you and give you more information about this. Let's do this, guys. Be excited about it. Show your excitement and give them that call to action. And then, like I said, message everybody who likes that post, because you'll be really surprised how many people actually want to hop in that never actually even commented. Okay? So you can't forget that call to action at the end. It's so important. So for example, when I do my post, you'll see a lot of the times that I will always say, when I first started this program, I was 35 pounds heavier. I had a 4-month-old at home and a 22-month-old at home. I had absolutely no energy. I felt like crap about myself. So I really kind of paint the picture for people reading this that, like, this isn't how it always was. I wasn't always like this, confident with the way I looked and this excited about the, health and fitness, that I was at one point 2 years ago, 35 pounds heavier, completely sleep deprived, no energy, no motivation, no confidence, with a 4-month-old and a 22-month-old. And these are the tools that I used to help me get where I am now. So I always try to paint that picture for people so that they can see how this can change things for them. And so public invites, guys, we have a 21-day challenge group starting on June 20th. So you guys should all be making, now you're not going to make a post like this, just so I'm clear, like every single day. You know what I mean? But once a week, a post, an invite like this to a challenge group is good. All right. So you guys should all be promoting that challenge group, unless you are at the point where you have your own team and you don't do that with me anymore, you do your own, then you're going to be promoting your own, and you're going to be posting a public challenge group invite on your wall for yours, and then you're going to be then private messaging, inviting people to your group. But if you're in mine, then the 20th, you're going to be shooting for that one. All right, so now we're going to be talking about the coaching opportunity on your personal wall. All right. So it's really important when you're talking and you're sharing about coaching, because there's got to be a mix. It can't just be challenge groups, because if you do that, then what you put out on social media is what you're going to attract. So if you're only talking about challenge groups and join my challenge group and look what the 21-day fix did for me and my energy with Shakeology, then chances are you're only going to attract challengers into your business. And you don't want to just attract challengers to your business. You want to build your own team. You want to attract entrepreneurs. You want to attract people like yourself who want to build businesses. So you need to talk about it, right? So when you're making your posts on social media about the coaching opportunity, you want to make sure that you're talking about your goals, even if you're not there yet, okay? Paint the vision for others to see where you're going. For example, guys, when I first started this, like I said, I hadn't earned any money. I didn't make any sales. And I always used Elizabeth Harkey as my example. And I always talked about her. And I was always so pumped up about this. And I always said to people, and this is why I'm in this. I need to be able to stay home with my kids. My upline coach, she's so successful. She's XYZ, blah, 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 blah. This is where I'm going with this. You should do this with me too, because I was that confident before I even got there that was going to happen. It was just going to take me time, and I had to be consistent. But I shared that with other people. So I didn't hold back just because I didn't have any personal big success. Like right now I can speak to my own experiences because I've been doing this now for almost 2 years. But at the beginning, I always used my upline coaches as examples of what this business opportunity can do and how it can change your life. So don't be afraid to use your upline coaches as well too, and share, because people can relate to that, and be confident that you're going to get there too. All right. So when you're writing your post, you want to write your post around these key points right here. You want to talk about your current circumstances, like what's going on right now or what was going on in the past. So for example, right now, when I make my posts, because I'm 2 years in, you'll hear me talk a lot about my past circumstances and how I was in huge financial debt and how I was going to have to leave the kids and how I had depleted my savings account and yada, yada, yada. You've heard it a million times. But at the beginning, I started to come out about it, and I was honest. I had to get vulnerable a little bit, and I told people that I was in massive amounts of credit card debt, and that this opportunity is going to change that, and I'm dedicated and I'm consistent and I'm going to stick with this, and it's going to happen, and I'm doing this for my children. And so it changes over time. So think about where you are or where you started and share that. Talk a lot about why you love Beachbody, right? And how it's different from any of your other past jobs that you've had. Like what you love about it, why you got into this. What keeps you showing up every single day? What makes you show up on these calls at 9:30 at night? And again, a sense of wanting to share this gift and help others. Always make sure that you weave that into your story. So when you're doing these kinds of posts, make sure that you have a really good picture, a picture of just yourself. You're smiling, you're happy, you're confident. You look more trustworthy and you look more credible when you are like that in a photo. Make sure it's clear. Make sure your lens is not smudged and that it's clear. Do a picture of the family. And again, have a call to action. If you're going to do a coaching opportunity invite, if it's going to be an invite, or even if you're sharing about how this has helped you, what you love about it, a call to action at the end. I see a lot of coaches on the team do that where, hey, listen, if you think that this could be something for you, if you think that this could be something that you could love and be passionate about, just like myself, send me a message. I'd love to give you more information about it. that kind of thing. And of course, if you do talk about anything financial, any kind of money, make sure that you put in the Beachbody disclaimer at the bottom of it. All right. But when you're out there, oh, and you're going to notice too, guys, that I repeat my posts a lot. And it's okay to do that. So don't be afraid to repeat your posts and write the same thing over and over again, because that's your story. And you need to be sharing it so much to the point where you're like, am I sharing this too much? Because the answer is no, you're not. You're actually not sharing it enough, because people are not on reading your posts all the time, and you're expanding your network every single day. Hopefully you're adding new people, new eyes are watching you. They don't know your story. They don't know your journey. They don't know why you're in this and what this has done for you and your family. And so that is why it is so important to continuously share the same thing over and over again. All right, so that people can see this, what this has done for you. Speak with big dreams, guys. You want to convey to people that you are running a super successful team, that you're running a big team, that your team is going all the way, that your team's doing amazing things, that you're going to the top with this. Who wouldn't want to be a part of that team, right? When you talk like that. So even though we're working there, we're not there yet, it doesn't matter. You're gonna act as though. That's the best advice I ever heard, was to act as though. Speak as if you are already there. Speak as if you are already where you want to be with this. And how would you talk about that? So you need to show that the possibilities are endless with this, you know? This isn't just some little hobby on the side. No, this is a business. You're entrepreneurs. You guys are going all the way with this. My team's doing awesome things. We're changing so many lives every single day. You know, we're top of the company, blah, blah, blah. I mean, you can go on and on, but you want to show that excitement and that confidence and show people that you're going places, and that if you decide to join Beachbody coaching, like, you better go with me, because you'll be making a big mistake if you don't. That's what you want to convey to people when you're sharing about this. Avoid sharing links to your website. Just don't do that. Just don't do that. And these kinds of posts, when you're talking about the coaching opportunity, they shouldn't feel forced. They shouldn't be forced at all. It should be what you're feeling at the time. Or if you're driving around or doing something and all of a sudden something comes into your mind and you're like, oh gosh, that's another great thing that I could write about why I love coaching or why somebody else should join my team. You can just jot it down and then you can write about it later. But definitely speak from the heart. And then we're going to talk really quickly just about your pictures that you use. So just make sure when you're using pictures for your invites that you're using close-up pictures, before and after pictures, yourself. Show the excitement, show the confidence. You want to stay away from the stock image photos, and you want to stay away from making any kind of like a picture collage that's like super duper busy. All right. You want to make it clean and to the point with very easy to read and eye-catching. And sometimes if there's too much stuff going on with like background, and then there's a picture of you, then there's a Shakeology, and then there's other thing, it's like, what is going on? It's just too much. Just clean it up and just make it on point. Your face really does do the talking. Your face will speak louder than words, is when they see the picture of you and they see your face. That really does it all. Like I said, use your challengers pictures to highlight groups. And you are your own brand, guys. Like, you really are your own brand. And so you might hear crickets, guys. Like, you want to be yourself. Trust me. Like, you want to be yourself because you want to attract people like you into the business. Otherwise, if you're not you, you're not going to attract you, and then they're never going to last, and it's not going to work for either of you. So this is the only business where you can authentically, like, you can be yourself and not have to worry about that. Like, you can be yourself, and it's like, well, I don't care if this person doesn't like it because they're not like me, and I want people like me. So be yourself. And if you hear crickets, it's no big deal. Remember, you're planting seeds and credibility. That is what you are doing. So I'm going to end with just quickly just talking about your timeline and giving you a quick call to action at the end. So where did I put that thing? I think I missed it. Oh, it's up here. So I actually where is it? Oh, it's right here. All right. So when you look at your timeline, or if I go to look at your timeline, okay, what will I know about you? What will I be inspired by? are you adding value? Can I tell what kind of a workout program you're in right now, what you're working on? Are you adding like small amounts of value all the time and then doing invites to the coaching opportunity and then giving more value and then doing an invite to the challenge group? That's the whole book. If you haven't heard of it, it's called Jab, Jab, Right Hook. It talks all about it, where like the jabs that you do are going to be your posts that you make that add value to people. It's going to be the free recipe you give someone. It's going to be the toddler tip that you give to someone. It's going to be what you love about coaching. It's going to be the retreat that you went on. It's going to be these small little things, free added value things. Those are the jabs. And the hook is going to be when you post up that actual, like, you've heard all about this now. You've heard about how my life has changed. The hook is now that invite to my challenge group, right? Or the hook is now that invite to our coaching blitz this Sunday night from 9 to 10. You don't want to miss it, right? They've been reading all these little jabs, these little pieces of value throughout the whole week about coaching that are leading up to that. So like, you should be sharing, like, now, since our coaching blitz is Sunday, if I go to look at your wall every single day, one of your posts should say something about coaching, because it's leading up to that. When you're going to go to make that invite Saturday during the morning or whatever, midday, about the blitz, or even Sunday last minute is good to do it too. It's okay. They're going to be reading all that stuff. And now you've done the hook, right? So anyways, I actually have, and I'm going to be posting it in the team page, but I have kind of like a self-assessment checklist that you guys can use and print off to look at your wall to make sure that you're doing these things, right? So I'm just going to read off just some of the things. Are you averaging at least 3 posts a day, right? So should be about 15 posts in the past 5 days. Not all invites to challenge groups, right? Variety of different things. Do people know that you are doing personal development or personal growth and how it is helping you? So I started going back. I actually came up with this list just the other day because I started to look at some of the Diamond coaches' walls, and I came across, I think it was Kristen's, and I just went back 5 days, and it was like in 5 days, she hit on every single one of the things that you should hit on. Like, there was not one thing missing. You knew she was a coach. You knew she was into health and fitness. You knew what program she was doing. You knew how it's helped her. You knew how it's changed her life. You knew that she has her own team. You knew that she was reading personal development, what book it was, and what she was learning from it. She had family stuff in there. I mean, it was literally everything. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a list to give to the team. So this is where this list was inspired from. So thank you, Kristen. So there's all different things in here. Your health and fitness journey. Would someone visiting your page know you're drinking Shakeology and why you love it? Have you talked about what coaching has done for you? Have you made an explicit invite to a challenge group, which is a coaching opportunity with a date and specific spots left? Are you being yourself? Are you sharing the real you? Are you getting vulnerable and sharing struggles, things that are working, things that aren't working? Can you feel, more importantly, I feel this is so important. When people go to your wall, do they feel excited? Like, are you someone that someone would want to follow, right? Like, if you were a stranger looking at your wall, do you look exciting? Would you want to follow you? That's the most important thing. So I'm going to give that to you guys. And I'm going to put it in the team page so that you can use it, but it's a really good self-assessment. You should really honestly be able to scroll back 5 days and hit on all these different topics. And if you don't, then you can see what you need to add in and make a more conscious effort to talk about. And it's important, like I said, that you do that, because when you are inviting, people are going to go right to your wall. Like, they're going to go right to your wall and start scrolling. I know, because people who have joined the team have told me that's what they did. So luck has nothing to do with this, guys, with inviting and building a team. It has everything to do with being consistent. It's everything to do with consistency. The great invites come from confidence and experience, and all of that takes time. So you have to be willing to be patient with it, but the more you do it, the faster you will gain confidence, okay? If what you're doing right now isn't working, then don't be afraid to reach out to your upline coach, tweak things, figure out what works, tweak it. And you've got to set monthly Success Club goals and recruiting goals to build your team. All of that stems from inviting. If you're not inviting, you're not hitting Success Club. If you're not inviting, you're not building your team. If you're not hitting Success Club, you're not building a business. All right. So if you aren't bringing in new coaches every single month, your business will just flatline. Okay. And just remember that nothing stays stagnant. Things either grow forward or they regress. And that's not just for Beachbody, right? This is for all areas of our life: fitness, financial, faith, emotional. Nothing stays stagnant. You're either getting better or things are getting worse. And we want to make sure that we're growing and moving forward. All right. So control the controllable. And what you can control in this business, guys, is your inviting. If you don't like the way where this business is going right now, if it's not where you need to be, guess what? You have the power. You can control that. You can control how many people you're talking to every day, how many people that you're connecting with and following up with. You can control all of that. That is all in your power. So control the controllable. That is where your answer is. It's in the inviting. It's behind the scenes in the private messaging. And make sure that you hit Success Club. Make it non-negotiable. Every single month, no matter what, make it non-negotiable. And I like to kind of end with this real quick, because a lot of people always ask, especially new coaches, should I wait to invite until I, have a transformation story? And my answer is no. Don't wait for anything. Just go. Just go and take action, and you're going to learn as you go. Learning, you're going to learn by doing in this business. That's really how it works. So your call to action, guys, make sure you write this down. Call to action now after this whole entire topic. We have our Blitz Sunday night, 9 p.m. I want you guys, all right, to try to make it a goal to invite 30 people to this and try to at least get in minimum 10 people. All right. Our last Blitz, guys, was pathetic. All right. I don't know what the heck happened, but we seriously had only 20 people in there, and like most of them were from me. So if you're off doing your own thing, like coach sneak peek with your team, that's a different story. But if not, and you're not taking advantage of these groups, like you are really, really missing out, like big time, humongous, big time letters. Like if I could write it in bold, like you have got to take advantage of these free blitzes or free coach sneak peeks. That is how I grew my business so fast. Like I have a lot of people be like, I want to earn 6 figures. Well, I'm telling you, that's what I did. I literally added 30 people every single time that I had a coach sneak peek, because it's a numbers game, guys. I added in 30 people every single time I had a coach sneak peek. A simple message. All I did was send to them the same message. I copied and pasted it. And I just said, hey, listen, I have a free 1-hour coaching blitz this Sunday night from 9 to 10. Do you want me to add you to it so you can be a fly on the wall and see if maybe coaching is for you or not, and if it's something that you'd like to be a part of? No strings attached. Just listen and learn and see if it's for you. And I would copy and paste the same thing until I got like 30 people in there. And that's how I built this team so fast. Because I wasn't just adding in like one person. And I was taking advantage of these groups because I didn't feel comfortable really talking about the business to people because I was so new. But by taking advantage of these groups, guys, the work is all done for you. All you need to do is plug them in, and then obviously you should be in there too if you have people in there, so you can support them when they comment and chime in. All right, and then I want you to make, within the next week, one public challenge post inviting people to our challenge group on the 20th. So make sure you give them a start date. Make sure you give them, say you have limited spots. Make sure that, or you say that you have a deadline, and at least one public coach invite. So you can do that for the coaching blitz, right? You can make your coaching blitz invite for this Sunday. Same thing, like tell them about what it's done for you. Tell them it's free, no strings attached. Just be a fly on the wall. Learn about why I love coaching so much and how it's, about our team, and make it your own. Like whatever you think, just put it in there. Don't overthink. Don't overcomplicate. Just do. And remember this, guys, right? Everyone out there has their own team waiting for them, right? How cool is that? You guys all have your own big team. They're out there waiting. So don't make them wait anymore. Go out there and find them. All right. So does anybody have any questions? I know I kept you guys a little bit later. I said I was going to keep this short, but I talk way too much. I hope this was helpful for you guys. And feel free to reach out whenever you need to if you have any tips. If you need any tips on things to overcome objections or whatnot. Oh, good. You're welcome, Kristen. I'm glad you liked it. All right, guys. Well, I don't want to keep you guys. And thanks for being here. And have a great weekend. And I'll see you next week. Bye, guys.